Hello friends, Namaste. Thank you for watching Yoga with Indian Yogi. You're most welcome on my channel, and as I always bring very interesting, very informative videos about traditional yoga, how to practice yoga, how to live with yoga. And this is very important, very much important that how we can bring yoga in our day life. And for yoga, what truly matters is about as you live, as you do your things, as in the present life, how can you just live without troubles, without any hurdles? So yoga, I would say, if we talk about the history of yoga, the postures, how they were evolved, how they came into presence, how they were just so accepted by the world, I would say yoga offered a lot, and yoga brought that sincerity, yoga brought that discipline in someone's life. So this is the biggest reason that how yoga was evolved, how yoga was just anticipated, and yoga came into use. So our topic that yoga made its presence in our lives. There is something in yoga that yoga pulled, yoga make all the world, it brought all the world together under one roof, that people started to live that life. We can say that art of life. Yes, yoga has that. Yoga has that openness by itself. It has a big, broad vision to offer, as well to accept any kind of religion, any kind of country-wise, any kind of person. It's apart from, it's just away. It's away from those narrow things. So it's a very interesting, and thank you so much for connecting with me and to give me that motivation that I could bring this traditional formation. We are practicing yoga in a fast pace, but I want to bring that auspicious, that real working of yoga, that how should you do yoga. And basically yoga is about to learn that how did it start, what happened before, how was it when yoga was formulated. As we see yoga today, it's completely different. It's so fast, at a very fast pace. But the history, if we go in the history, if we look over that, yoga is very simple. Yoga is basically, it started, the first definition of yoga, yoga patha anushasana, the first verse of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And yes, first thing, yoga came from the nice scriptures, nice text. What yogi Patanjali, he was the foremost yogi, first yogi. He started to write it down. Adi Yogi Shiv, Shiv is the founder of yoga. And if we talk about how it was written, a proper philosophy. So Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which was written by Patanjali, Maharishi Patanjali, the foremost yogi, and he wrote the first verse that yoga athanushasana means first thing, very beginning, first stage, first step, that yoga is a self-discipline. When you practice yoga, you may check, you may try. When you start to practice, when you start just to bring it into your life, the first thing what you will see, yoga has a discipline. Like every day, you have a specific criteria, you have a schedule, you are, I would say, very particular. So the first thing about yoga is that it's just a discipline formation. People who are disciplined, I would say even who wish to be disciplined, there is a lot of problem in our daily routine, in our ways, in our lives, that we are missing that discipline. People are just doing anything to believe that there is no limitation. Yes, nature created us in that manner that nature did not put no limitation, no restriction. But if you will go by the nature, everything is in a proper sequence, everything is in a row. You check the nature, everything is so systematic. You will see animals, oh, they have a perfect timing of everything. But we human beings, as we believe that we are on that supreme level, we are at the top level, somehow we miss that. But trust me, this is my first saying, that if we go in the history of yoga, even how the postures were evolved, so first thing he mentioned that discipline means you will start to become more disciplined. And when you start to become more disciplined, means there is a change inside of you. When you will go with the philosophy of yoga, that everything is in that proper sequence, in that manner, we would say. So history of yoga goes behind. In India, it goes in the Himalayas, and basically yogis were quite different. It started from Lord Shiva, who is Mahayogi, Adi Yogi. So Shiva practiced it. Shiva is a big meditator. Shiva is in the meditation, and Shiva brought this idea of practicing yoga. And yoga, the definition of yoga, basically it's to connect, it's to add or to sum with, like you're adding up yourself with something. So what Shiva brought this idea that how to connect your soul with that supreme soul, we can say. So yoga believes in God. Yoga is one of those philosophies that yoga believes in God. Yoga mentions that yes, there is the presence of God, and the purpose why to practice yoga in traditional way, in that auspicious way, that you could define, means we all are taking birth, we all are living here for so many years, someone for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, who are really crossing 80s, very lucky, they really did nice karmas. So yoga is basically why are we in this world, why we were, why we did not get some other birth, why we got this human body, which is a big gift, which is truly like after so many births that a chance to find our definition. I would say that basically yoga is about to find our definition. We are always busy in finding what is this, what is that, why do we practice this thing. I would say yoga is the one that we find ourselves. We find that who are we? Basically the question, who are we? And with yoga, that then we say we are this. We are means me, my Yogi Vivek. I am this. Like what I did with my previous life, with my karmas, I got this birth. Maybe I'm a yoga teacher. I choose to become a yogi. I started to live that yogic life. But what is the definition of life? Why? So I would say that yoga is the biggest philosophy, the wonderful philosophy. There are so many philosophies, everything has that value, that respect. But yoga is so different that if you're only practicing with physical working, you can see that appropriateness, you will see that health, you will see that clarity in your functions. When you function something, you are so clear, you are just so prosperous. So yoga has that beauty that first of all it brings you to that discipline, that inner routine, I would say. And then the history. The meaning is like to connect when you're just connect with your own nature. You define yourself who you are. Then of course you have the wisdom. Like we believe in 5 koshas. I will also bring these nice topics next time. Please put your comments so I have the idea what I would share with you, what I can bring, that knowledge, that wisdom. So please don't hesitate, let me know, it motivates me to know. And also, like as I was saying, wisdom. So that 5th kosha, the layer, it's very interesting to know what we have inside. This is my body, this is my face, this is my arms, my shoulders. Like we know these things, but how about those things which we cannot visualize, we cannot see? So yoga, like again I will come back, we have the wisdom that I need to know, like okay, this is yoga, from where it came, what was happening in starting, how yoga just came into function, people started to practice in different forms. So very interesting, like in beginning yoga was practiced in a very strict manner, that people, it was not like in my daily life I can go to some class, I can just enroll myself for a retreat, or no. Yoga was actually different. Yoga was decided, like which form should I practice. It was decided by my guru. Like in Indian way, there is always a function, a very important thing that people they believe to have gurus. And now we will say, why guru? Like I don't need a guru, I am the master of myself. But in Asian way, it's a little different, that especially in Indian civilization, that guru was there. Guru means not a teacher, not a scholar, I would say not a mentor. Guru has a high reputation. He's above that level. Guru is connected with you. Guru knows what's inside of you. Guru knows personally about you. So when a guru was looking at you, you are living with your guru, you're under your guru, you're practicing in ashram lifestyle. As personally I have been in ashram, and I know again that disciplined manner, how to be in a disciplined form to practice yoga. It's very tough, it's very strict, but as you complete that training, as you complete that phase, you start to know that yes, like it was nice. Means that time you have a proper routine, you have a proper timing of everything. But as you live that life, you start to like it. You prefer that yeah, it was nice to become in that way, to be disciplined. So as I was talking about that wisdom, that why a guru and what happens, okay, like in history of yoga, the guru was selecting. The purpose was because yoga, there are different ways of connecting. For example, I can connect with something with Wi-Fi, I can connect with something with Bluetooth, somehow I can connect with the card. So there are different ways of connecting. So if we talk about the soul, after this life, when I will leave this body, my soul will leave this body. And how about that? So yoga has a very good answer on that, that just to look for your real formation, that from where the soul came, the soul has to go back to the same place. You say in India there's a belief in Hinduism and yoga, both they are agreed that we have this soul, and the soul does not stay in this body forever, and soul has to go to the target, to the aim. So it's very interesting, like in the history of yoga, that yoga started to be like to define yourself, like who you are, what is your purpose, what are you doing in this world, why did you come. So yoga was formulated by so many different yogis, like everyone gave their part, everyone helped, everyone brought so many ideas, so many chapters, they formulated everything, and then yoga became a big philosophy. So there are 6 Indian philosophies. So yoga is one of them, that it highly believes that God is there. There is a presence of God. So why Guru was selecting your topic, which what kind of yoga you should do, means Vivek is good for maybe Hatha yoga. Oh no, Vivek will be suitable for Kundalini. No. Maybe Janan yoga. Like these are traditional aspects of yoga. So Jnana yoga is mostly about scriptures. Vivek is good in reading. Vivek is very good in scriptures, in text. He's very good in reading. So it means he can connect his soul directly with that medium. There were different kinds of yoga. So I know that in modern time there are different styles. Those are the styles. But when we talk about different yoga, so different yoga, they were according to your, I would say, not even personality. It goes wider. It has a deep meaning, that if my guru mentioned to me, Vivek, you are good for this yoga, there is a reason that guru has been checked on me, guru has been checked my background. So guru knows that which yoga is good for Vivek. So that was the reason that yoga was a very different term. Even it was very interesting that there was a saying that yoga is not for everyone. Yoga was for very selected persons. So this is in the history of yoga, that it's not like Vivek is very much good, Vivek wants to know, or Vivek is so much eager that Vivek can go for that retreat. No, yoga was different. So as for Guru, first Guru, you're going to Guru, there were ashrams, there were Gurukul. Still in India, that small kids, they used to go to join these Gurukuls. So Gurukul, Kula is like the place. All the place is for the students with Guru. So they have their personal interaction. They stay with their gurus, and gurus bring them to the spiritual world. So it's not only about that they only practice yoga and they grow up themselves. No, there's a proper functioning, there's a proper syllabus that they have to go through. And but yes, the gurus are there to check, to look for. And what kind of education is there? It's for your self-improvement. Like, it's only about spiritual, it's highly about to grow physically, mentally. You're very much mentally strong, you're emotionally mature, and with yogic, Vedic, there are Vedas, there is mostly a combination of everything. You are so good in postures, you are regularly doing your physical exercises, not only yoga. There are so many Indian martial art, there are so many different ways to put you into physical. You get very high level of physical appropriateness, and there is to, to make you calm. There is a practice of meditation, there is a practice of mantras, there are the mantras for everything. As you eat, there is a mantra for that. As you do any auspicious thing, there is mantra for, so mantras for everything. So if we go by the meaning, we go in the history, like history of yoga. Okay, so yoga came like that. A lot of yogis, so many sages, they brought their ideas, they combine everything, and yoga was like, still yoga was very much private. I would say just private mode. Yoga was not for all. And what we see today is only 1%. Trust me, 1%. The real yoga is very different. So when you are under your guru, when you are in that level, when you are in that hierarchy, like there are so many things. I would say proper functioning. It's under a system. It's very organized. So to know in a good way, I would say in a proper way, it's always nice to learn from of course, a reputed, we can say experienced, I would say mature. First to find your guru. The first thing is like in yoga, in Indian system, in Indian education, that first thing what matters is your guru. And guru is not about like to look, to check online, or guru means when you know, and if you're really eager to know your guru, you will come in their contact, they will find you. This is very interesting. So first thing is to have that eagerness, to have that, like you want it, when you want something, that room is proper, what you are seeking is looking for you. Means there is something in this universe. When you start to have, when you have that eagerness, when you have that, you are thirsty, that I want that, you want something, that comes to you, that is also looking for you. So it's very interesting that especially in the matter of guru is looking for you, because that connection, like it will be a very long subject, a long chapter, that especially with guru. So as you say, that universal love, so with your guru you have that love. Like I can tell you honestly that love maybe you will not find with your parents, you will not find with your siblings, you will not find with friends or relatives. That real love, what you will find when you go to your guru, they are that connection, because that connection is so universal, that's eternal. Once you feel it, you cannot just wait. So that is a very important thing in yogic way, as our topic is like history of postures, history of yoga, and how yoga, and like very interesting, we all talk about this posture, that pranayama, meditation. Yes, these are the parts, but first, like how about the history, like usually people, they don't talk about like how yoga was evolved, how it came into presence, So in the history that I will talk about, even for Patanjali, these Advanced yoga was advanced. It has been almost like 4,000 years, 5,000 years back. I will talk about thousands of years when Shiva started yogic practice, and Shiva transferred it to his wife Parvati, and from Parvati it was going to different yogis who were connected, who were in that way of self-liberation. So then advanced yoga, Guru Goraknath. So he was very popular, very famous yogi. There are so many yogis. Swatmaram, he became a modern yogi who wrote Hatha Yoga Pradipika. We all have those, we say it, Bible of yoga. So Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it is very nice book. Whoever, I would say, whoever wants to read about yoga. So Swatmaram, actually he formulated everything. Patanjali Yoga Sutras are different, but what he wrote in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it's very much common. It's very much like you need it. If you choose to become a yogi, you want to live like a yogi, I would say if you read this book, you get everything from that book. I can tell you 50 to 60% doubts will be clear. It has a lot of clarity. You will find a lot of answers. So whoever wants to grow up, whoever wants to see what is yoga, whoever wants to just to check, I would say I would highly recommend this book, Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Very interesting. So as I was talking about Swatmaram, he's the writer of Hatha Yoga Pradipika. And Gherant, he was also one of the foremost. He also wrote Gherant Sahita. It's little different than Hatha Yoga Pradipika, but he also wrote in his ways Gherant Sahita. It's like a combination of his textures, what he formulated. So I would say that every yogi, there were like hundreds of yogis that time, okay, they were collecting, they were discovering yoga is a subject of 99% practical. Like you read, of course, you need something to get educated. So you read, that's only 1%. And that's just for helping, to help yourself. But yoga, the majority goes with, you have to practice. Means you know something, as I can say in practical life, that we all read a lot. Good things, we can read some nice novels, nice books, but we don't practice it. We are lacking of practice. So in yoga, the main thing is that you practice a lot. That when you start to practice, means yoga changes you. This is like, no doubt, like you may try by yourself, that yoga changes people, and I would say in a good way. There's nothing about that there is presence of any specific religion, you have to follow a trend, you have to follow a path. It's very practical, that you bring those practical things in your life. So there is no doubt that you start to practice yoga, I would say, again in the topic came Janana Yoga. It's about philosophy, like in the scriptures, you have readings, something to get knowledge from the books. You can say bookish. It's not about bookish, it's to grow. Janana Yoga is very high in yogic practices, that you can get your self-attainment, your freedom with reading. So basically reading is the art. So you may get a lot of information from reading Janana Yoga. And it depends, as I mentioned, if you take the history of yoga, so gurus were deciding. First guru, like guru knows that you're fitted for this and you should fit yourself in this frame. Means different frame, but this will be suited on you and this will look better. So this same philosophy, same art, that Guru was deciding, Guru was basically making your homework. Guru was deciding that you should do this. If you want to become a yogi, like, this is your journey. Yoga is not limited. That's first thing. Yoga is very much into fitness. Yoga is about 99% practice. Practice whatever you learned, whatever you know, to bring in your daily life, in your lifestyle. Yoga is about to practice. But yoga has a different function. Yoga is a philosophy. It has a philosophical art and love. It's a science. Yoga has science. Yoga, whatever you do, there is a science behind that. So yoga is full of wisdom. Yoga is full of facts, as you said. That fact is there. If I'm practicing this asana, if I'm sitting like this, there is the fact. There is a reason behind that. What will happen? Where will it work? Which system will be affected? How about my mental equilibrium? So yoga has a big science, but yoga has that, I would say, again, the first thing, the discipline. Like, as much you start to become more self-disciplined, automatically in your daily routine, you just follow that. So what overcomes, it's like you become mature. And yoga is about your maturity. Yoga takes a lot of practice. And practice in what? First you start to feel your body. You check on yourself that what is there, like what's happening in my body. And yoga believes in that when your body is stable, as per the definition of yoga. So when definition is when you are stable and when you are comfortable. So very easy definition. When you are stable and when you are comfortable, only these two things when you can bring in your practice, that's called an asana. So definition of an asana, very easy. What is a posture? There can't be anything about a posture, but the definition is in any position in which you are stable and comfortable, like you need to be very comfortable. That is the asana. So this was the history of yoga. Like, yoga came through all these yogis, they worked on that, they discovered the facts. There are so many scriptures. Now how about asanas? And I would say the postures. So you should tell me, like, how many postures you think? Just an idea, like, if you have any information, you read so many books, you have so many internet things, we have so many things online available. How many postures could be in yoga? It's very interesting, like, as we all have different information, and but I will go through with the history, how the postures, like, okay, why tree pose, why mountain pose, why, you know, the postures, their names. So why were postures were named like that? Why were not they named like on something else? So, and why yogis were practicing in forest, in jungles? If you start to look for yogis, my personal experience, I belong to the Himalayas, I belong to Rishikesh, and if you come through to find yogis, like from here, Rishikesh, after Rishikesh, there are like high mountains. They are there. And these yogis, you don't know, you don't have no idea how long they're practicing there. How are they living in this time, in this modern time when people are living on facilities? Without facilities, they cannot survive, they cannot function. But that's also, you just see that they're very much capable of having nothing. Like, they can survive, they can function very well without food. Can you imagine that we cannot live without food for a few days? We cannot just even survive a day, I would say hours. So what makes them like that? Yoga is when you bring that discipline, when you live in that way, when you have that mindset. I would say the biggest thing is yoga prepares your mindset, you know? It makes your mindset like, you know yourself entirety. You know what requires for your body. You know that what you need for your system, for your life. Proper fresh air, water. And as they were living in the forest, they live in the forest, basically in the glaciers. How do they survive? And how to make them no clothes? Imagine in where the temperature is in minus, where it's so chilled, we cannot stay without jackets, without shirt. We need those kind of equipments to be there. They are there without nothing. So this is very interesting that how those yogis, then they were practicing those postures. Now the postures, their names, the postures, their presence came, like how the postures were evolved, how the postures were there. So very interesting that, can you imagine 84 million postures, asanas. They were practiced by yogis in starting when Shiva formulated it. Shiva transferred this education, this knowledge to others. And according to time, everything is getting less. As the humans were tall, as the humans were big, now this is the time humans are getting less. So everything is getting narrow, everything is getting small. So same for yoga. If you talk about the postures were like unlimited. It was very hard even to remember. It was not that I know so many postures, I can do this posture. They were not. We talk about the history of asanas, the history of postures. Also, even this education is hard to get on videos, to get on books, and that. It's very interesting that we are talking about the postures, how many postures and how did they start. So postures were found sitting in any posture, and the yogi, how they worked on that, how they just discovered, and what they found after that, in simple words, for what was the functioning of that posture. So it was very interesting that how from 84 millions to the postures started to become like short, small, like very short. In modern time now, I would say people they say 200, but no. If you really go with those traditional ways, if you go to real ways, there's still more than 400, 500 postures where you can define, what you can read about them. So postures, we're talking about the history, like which is so rich. I would say that richness which is making you prosperous in different ways, like I would say overall personality. If you practice yoga, if you are bringing it into your life, so how much yoga is just proposing you, how much yoga is just offering, because yoga is only about to offer. Yoga offers a lot, and as I defined before in other philosophies, you have something different, you have something to gain for yourself. But how about this inner self, which is called I? Like, we will come back with another topic, and you please let me know, as I mentioned, what you would like me to bring. You would like to bring that kind of topic, what you want to know. So, if I talk about myself, this is just my body. How about inside, which is inside of me, which is inside of you? We all have this मैं. In Hindi, in Sanskrit, it's called मैं. मैं means me. So, and all these philosophies are about, if you will talk about Indian philosophies, you will find this word I. As we say, I, me, I want this for me, do it for me, or I want to do this, bring it for me. So this I-ness, like this I-ness is so hard for a normal person, for a very ordinary person, that this I-ness is there. We all have that I. Think about that. What functions in our brain? That, hey, I should do this, no, I should go there, no, I should eat, or, right? I. The I is there. So how about that I? So yoga has the answer. Yoga has, like, what I'm saying, this is the overall philosophy. Philosophy means in which you gain knowledge, right? You gain information, you have wisdom. In this yogic philosophy, you get a way of, if someone wants to know how to live, yoga has the source, yoga has the answer, that you should live in that manner which is healthy for you, which is good for you. And I will say, everyone wants to be healthy, everyone wants to feel good, that I should live in a prosperous in the sense of my body is fit, I'm healthy, I can function without any obstacles, I can function without any difficulty, right? And my mind, who would not like in this modern time that, hey, I can be without tension? Like I would say, the first thing for everyone, that we all want to be without tensions. Nobody would like to be to live a stressful life. So yoga is the medium. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants that, oh, today I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to feel bad, I want to feel high. How? When your emotions, when you're not hyper, when you're living a very nice life, when you have everything balanced. So your emotions automatically they come at neutral place. So yoga has the solution. Yoga has the way. There are so many different things that people are puzzled. Their brain does not function, they don't get proper information, they're always confused. I should do this or I should not do this, oh let me do that, oh no, let me do this. When you follow this, I would say this path, the path of your life, I would say your life, this is your journey, you have to cover, and this is your way, that from that philosophy what you gain, that's your choice. There is nobody to instruct you. There is nobody to tell you, hey, you do this, you do that. That's your choice in your ways, and imagine your journey. So yoga has that freedom. Yoga has that openness. There is nothing blocked. There is nothing to hide. There is nothing to keep secretive, or there is something very suspicious. Everything is clear. Everything is defined. Like, this is like this. If you think it's good for you, just take it. This is an offering. I'm offering to you. So please, if I know something, please utilize me. If you think I may help, I can be good, I can be helpful, please. So yoga has that nature. When you believe in that fact, that yoga is just for offering. Yoga does not have nothing to be tied, or to be under burden, under pressure. Yoga is just for your self-inquiry. So yoga is a beautiful art. Like we all have, I would say this is our moral responsibility. If we practice yoga, we are in that field, we should use it for our self-advancement, for our growth. Like in a good way, we want to be happy. Everyone wants to be so happy. Everyone wants to be full of love, that compassion. Automatically you will find, and maybe sometimes your mood is just change, your mood is getting hyper, or you are having negative thoughts, you have someone's company does not help, does not, it's not suitable for you. But yeah, you start to practice yoga and you will feel very light. You will feel that there are no obstacles, now my life is clear, I have a clear mindset, I have a clear vision. If you want to grow all these things, I would highly recommend that at least try yoga. Maybe you don't need to learn so much that what happened in the history, how it came, but it's always nice. It's always very important to know the history. It's always very informative that we know. So no harm. There's nothing wrong with that. Always to know something informative. And yoga is working like love. As you say, when you practice yoga, you are in that love. You are in that dedication. You have that discipline. The discipline just comes out. Like you cannot do without something without your heart, without your settlement, without doing everything proper. You will be so perfectionist, I would say. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. So yoga brings growth. Yoga brings that fulfillment that you feel, I'm full, I'm feeling good. So this is a very long journey. I would say whenever you start yoga, whenever you start practicing yoga, it's never too late. It's always nice. Think for that. Just wake up yourself and think one morning. Just wake up, look into the mirror in front of that hey, what are you doing here? It's very serious, very like you will feel, oh, we don't know. We just live every day something, some target, some object, some aim. But the day when you stop and you look, yes, that's true. I never asked to myself that what is my aim? What I'm doing here? I can tell you honestly, you will change. You will think, you will look inside of you. You will say, yes, there is something that needs to be changed, and that's your I. Think for that. Just contemplate that I-ness. That the day when you only, if you can work only 0.5%, 0.5% on yourself, that I, that if that I-ness can be covered up, if that I-ness can be taken care of, I can tell you that you will be a new person. And if you're interested to know what practice you should start, just put in your comments what should you do. There are so many questions. If you're having some problem with your daily practice, you're having any problem with your routine, you don't know what specific practice can help you, what can guide you, where should you go, don't feel hesitated. You're most welcome. Just please write in your comments, let me know, and I'm here. I'm very happy to help you. I can help you, I can bring new ideas, I can bring that traditional information, that what you should do, what should help you. So not to make yoga that complicated, like, oh, so many things, to make it very easy, that just to start, Just if you're having problem like how to even sit, like I cannot sit in that way. I'm very much present. I'm available for you. That please just ask. Like I will tell you. I will help you. How can you sit in that one posture for hours? And this is the main science that, as I mentioned, like definition of an asana. When you are stable, you don't have no movement in your body. And the second thing, you are comfortable. Why to be comfortable? Like as we always say in class, that please make sure you are comfortable, because if you are not comfortable, you cannot be stable. That's the reason. And the history of asanas was why asanas were made of, because it was for your, even meditation is a very short formation that you just become still. That's the definition of meditation. Like dhyana. Dhyana means to focus, to concentrate. But how can you concentrate? Imagine if you are not physically fit, if you are not physically fully stable. So there is a reason of everything in yoga. And when you truly just dedicate yourself, when you put yourself that, even I would say no pressure. There is no pressure in yoga. As I said, there is no command that there is someone behind you with a stick or a to check on you, to look for you. This is your choice. Like of course, like you have to grow that hunger if you are interested. Yoga is a subject of interest. Like the day, or as we say, that time will not come that you are looking beyond. You are looking something like outrageous, or you're looking something to change in your life. Means you cannot practice yoga. Yoga is for all. There is no doubt in yoga. There is no discrimination. There is no restriction. There is nothing to stop you. But in yoga, that heart matters. Like you have to put your heart, as we say, when you do your practice in asanas. Yes, you have to put your heart. If you will not push yourself, you cannot grow. And that physical appropriateness is for to be stable, like to get that steadiness. You are very much into control. Means you have that control on your body before starting other things, before starting to restrict your breathing system, to restrict your internal mind. The first thing is that you have control on your physical body. So this is very interesting. I would say, if you want to know, like let me know that you're totally a beginner and your point is like, how should I start? Like I even don't know from where to start. I will let you know. I will help you. I will be very happy to help you, that if yoga could help you with something, because as I mentioned, yoga is full of, it's a big ocean. You can take pearls, you can take diamonds, you can take so many things from this ocean. Everything is there, the nectar is there. It's your choice. So it's only about your mood, it's only about your preference, what you prefer in the life. But if you have been decided that, first you have that wish, I would say wish, the word wish, that I wish that I could know better. I could know. I'm practicing yoga. Like I don't know my purpose. I'm just practicing. Daily I go to that class. I go in that studio. I go in that retreat. But I don't know what practicing means. That's not good. It's really not good. You need to define, like especially in yoga, it's a journey from self. You go up, but you come back to the self. So it's very important. Like it's a journey of yourself. So you know exactly, and this is a journey like very interesting. You do everything by yourself, and you're just a master. You become so good that even you know what kind of posture you're going to practice today. Why? Because now your body is stable, your body is under control. So first working in asanas we do control. I would say self-control is still not there, it's far, but control this physical frame. All this power, they come under control. You can sit for a long duration. Other things they come next. Because when you're capable of sitting for long duration, what will happen that your brain, you can try sometime that I'm giving a very simple, very small idea that if you can stay in a position, just take any posture and write me down, put in your comments that was there any change. Just let me know that if you don't find no change, I would say even 5 minutes. Try one posture for 5 minutes, and if you find any change in your body, in your brain, so everything is so connected in your like why the definition is about that you need to be stable. You need to learn how to stay there longer. Like in Indian way, when you practice under gurus, they mention to you that Vivek, practice this posture for 5 minutes. Vivek, stay there. Means of course like Vivek has his limitation. Vivek can practice maybe for 1 minute, maybe for 2 minutes, but they are pushing you. They are saying Vivek, because they know exactly if you stay in that posture for that long, Vivek's mind, the fluctuations of my vrittis, the fluctuations of my mind, they are like the horse. They are running. They are always out of control. So how to control? Like body, this is the reason like in Indian way, it's slow. It's not like in hurry. It's not like because this is your journey. So why to be in hurry? You should enjoy. I would say if you do maybe one change per day, if you can bring any change in your life, you can grow up. You can put yourself in a good hierarchy at a good level. That's the biggest change in your life. Any one single, if we can start maybe so many bad habits every day, maybe we work with yoga, we bring all that positivity that I'm going to change. I'm going to change myself. And you will see at what level you will come. So yoga is about a long journey. So with the asanas, the purpose is simply like you can learn that you stay there longer. You increase your resistance power. You can see why yogis they have so much energy. It's nothing about they're doing some magic. It's about they're living with that self-discipline first. Self-discipline. Other things they come late. They will come. They come over there. But the presence of your body, this beautiful creation. Sometimes just sit and think that why God made this beautiful body, right? Like what is the working and how much this body is just helping us. This body is just so much, like so much we get from this body. Without body, how the workings were done. So this is the reason like when you start to take yoga, I would say in starting there is nothing wrong. Like you become more physical aware, like you bring it that wow, like I will take this body to keep myself healthy, I will put myself fit, I will put myself in a good shape. You will start to feel, you will feel that wow, means it was a different experience, as much you start to become physically aware, your body, your system, everything starts to become different. As they say, yoga fulfills that physical, like you're just physically aware. There will be a time automatically. There will be a time you will say, I'm physically fit, and you will say, as like a sportsman, what happens? They're physically fit, and automatically they're calm. They have that mental equilibrium. They have that control. So when you are physically fit, it reflects on your brain. It reflects on your nervous system. The nervous system becomes calm. I would say that please practice in physical way. Bring it in your daily routine, and hope you enjoyed my session. Please comment and write your question. I would be very happy. So for today, namaste and thank you so much. Bye bye. Jay, my baby,